So, one day, I was scrolling through TikTok when I stumbled into something unexpected. Book Talk, a niche corner of TikTok filled with book reviewers and literary nerds, had discovered One Piece. One Piece, of all things.
I've never read a manga before, but I promised my brother that if he read Red Rising, I would read One Piece.
If you would have told me that there would be a version of me that would be up at 1 a.m. crying about One Piece. Talking shit. The talking ship has me like this right now.
Convinced that Oda is just drinking our tears instead of coffee every morning because what was this?
Now, one of my little weird hobbies is watching people react to these stories that I already love. And being a One Piece fan for over 20 years, it's not an exaggeration to say this series is woven into my life. So, seeing an entirely new community discovering it, experiencing those emotional gut punches for the first time, it's been incredible. Most of Book Talk is still somewhere in East Blue. Some have made it to Alabasta, a few to Skypia. Shout out to Mari, who somehow blitzed all the way to Marineford in a matter of weeks. So, watching them react to moments I lived through years ago, it's been surprisingly emotional. It's made me nostalgic, and it's reminded me why I love this world so much. And it's pushed me to look back on the moment I fell in love with One Piece and the Straw Hat whose dream I want to see fulfilled more than any other. I didn't start One Piece the same way most fans do today. I wasn't binge watching in HD on a streaming platform. I discovered it as a kid, sometime in the mid 2000s, airing on local television. Back then, I was naive, honestly, a pretty shallow viewer. I liked the fights, the goofy characters, the adventure, nothing deeper. I had no idea how much the story was quietly setting up for me. Fast forward a few years, I had just graduated high school with dozens of completed anime under my belt, and I told myself, okay, let's finally watch this gargantuan of a show with over 500 episodes and catch up. My only goal was to conquer the backlog to be up to date. But even then, I still hadn't touched the surface. I breezed through Romance Dawn, Syrup Village, Baratie, until I reached Arlong Park. Now, that was the first time One Piece truly punched me in the gut. The walk to Arlong Park with Overtaken swelling in the background, that was the most hype thing I had ever seen at the time. But it still wasn't the moment I fell in love with One Piece. It was just the start. I kept on going. Logtown, Reverse Mountain, Alabasta, Jaya, and then Skypia. Now, Skypia is infamous among fans. Some say it feels disconnected and that it doesn't impact the rest of the story, that it might as well be filler. But for me, Skypia is the arc that changed everything. Because at the end of this beautiful, self contained adventure, there's a single detail, a moment so small you could miss its significance. Goldie Rogers' handwriting, his message carved into the poneglyph.
おいあんたその横に彫ってあるのは同じ文字じゃないか
ゴールデン。
And that was it. That was the moment I fell in love with One Piece. Everything clicked at once. If Roger could write the ancient language, if the poneglyphs could reach even the sky, if this seemingly isolated arc connected to a history the world itself was trying to erase, then the story was so much bigger than I had ever imagined. And that was when I realized something important. The Straw Hat's dream I want to see fulfilled more than any other is Robin's. Robin's goal isn't flashy, it isn't loud. She wants to find the real poneglyph, the collected, uncensored truth of history. The Void Century, the Ancient Kingdom, the secrets of the world government buried. The Skypiea opened the door to that mystery. And suddenly, I wasn't watching One Piece to catch up anymore. I was watching for the world building. To understand why that single inscription in Skypiea hit me so deeply, you need to understand Robin and the weight of her dream. Because out of all the Straw Hats, Robin's goal isn't about glory or ambition or personal pride. It isn't tangible like a cure or a map or a treasure. Robin's dream is something more fragile and far more dangerous. Robin wants to learn the true history of the world. Not rumors, not propaganda, not the convenient narrative the government manufactured. She wants the truth, unfiltered, unaltered, unburned. And that dream is so threatening that the world government was willing to kill a child for it. Robin's dream is the only one that endangers the world government. Every Straw Hat has obstacles. Sanji has the All Blue. Who knows where it is? Zoro has Mihawk, the world's strongest swordsman. Nami has the world's oceans. But Robin's obstacle is the world's greatest superpower. Her dream is the only one that is considered a crime. From the moment that she could read poneglyphs, Robin became a target, a living liability. The government didn't need proof that she had done anything wrong. The possibility that she could uncover the truth was enough to condemn her to death. That alone shows the scale of her dream. The world is terrified of history, the true history. And Robin is the only one capable of liberating it. Robin's goal is not just personal, it's global. While the other Straw Hat dreams are about personal fulfillment, Robin's has consequences for 1. The world government's legitimacy, 2. The origins of the ancient kingdom, 3. The meaning behind the Great Pirate Era, 4. The identity of Joy Boy, and more. Even the rise of the D-Clan, the existence of ancient weapons, and ultimately the nature of the world itself. Her dream isn't just a goal, it's a revelation waiting to happen. Robin isn't simply chasing her own happiness, she's chasing the liberation of truth. In a world built on lies, she's searching for the one thing that sets people free: knowledge. Robin represents the value of history. Robin's story asks a question most run and ignore. What happens to a world that destroys its own history? Ohara was civilization dedicated to understanding the past, and for that they were erased. Robin is the last piece of that legacy. And that is what makes her dream so emotionally powerful. Her journey is not about finding something new, it's about recovering something lost. Every time Robin reads a poneglyph, I love it. It's an act of defiance. At the same time, an act of freedom. Every inscription she uncovers is a step toward restoring a history the world tried to silence. She's an archaeologist of a stolen past. For the Straw Hats, Robin is a crew member. But to me, Robin is the key to everything. What makes Robin's dream even more important is its connection to the Straw Hats themselves. Luffy wants freedom. Robin wants truth. But freedom without truth is hollow. The truth without freedom is suppressed. Together, their dreams challenge the very foundation of One Piece's world. Even Goldie Roger himself couldn't do everything. He found the truth, yes, but he couldn't act on it. He was waiting for someone who could. So Robin isn't just another member of the crew. She's the person who will read the final message, the one person with the knowledge to interpret the true meaning behind One Piece itself. Without Robin, the Straw Hats can reach Raftel, but they cannot understand what they find. Maybe that's why her dream stood out to me more than any other. It's because Robin's journey isn't about strength or skill, it's about identity. It's about reclaiming something the world told her she wasn't allowed to know. It's about surviving a childhood defined by silence and choosing to illuminate the silence instead of running from it. Robin reminds us that stories have power, and history has power. And the pursuit of truth, even when the world punishes you for it, is one of the bravest dreams a person can have. And this is why I love One Piece. I discovered that what I love most about One Piece isn't power-ups, isn't epic fights, or even the characters alone, even though they're all incredible. It's the world building. The slow burning mystery. The sense that every island, every arc, every little moment is a puzzle piece leading towards the enormous one truth. Seeing Boktak experience One Piece for the first time has reminded me of that feeling, that spark of curiosity, that excitement of discovering a story far bigger than first appears. And honestly, it's made me fall in love with One Piece all over again. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Midnight Cravings. And that's my dog. See you guys next time.